Bonsoir la classe, c'est dimanche soir. Quelle heure est-il? Il est presque 8h30 du soir. 8h30. So, welcome guys, this is the week 9 summary video. Thank you for watching. So it's Sunday evening, c'est dimanche soir. And then I asked, quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure? What time is it? So, maintenant il est vers, it's around 8h30. 8:30, so 8:30. Du soir, 8h30 du soir. 8:30 in the evening, à peu près, more or less, around that kind of time. So, we were looking at time last week, weren't we? So, therefore, it was really useful that we looked at numbers in the preceding weeks. So, in France, like here, often they use the 24-hour clock. So it's really useful to know the numbers from 1 to 24. For example, let me move these out of the way. If I were to ask you what time it is now, and you wanted to use the 24-hour clock, then you would answer not 8 heures, 8 o'clock, but, so what's 8 in the 24-hour clock? 20, okay? So, en français, comment dit-on? 20. En français, 20. Oui. 20. Comme ça, vous voyez ou non? Let me go a little bit closer. Un peu plus près. A little closer. In fact, je vais utiliser le stylo noir. I'm going to use the black pen and make the letters larger. Or the numbers in this case. 20. 20. Il est 20 heures. But I said it was past, nearly half past. So, 20 heures et demie. 20 heures et demie. Demi is like half of an hour. So, you could say, alternatively, you could use the word 30. Il est 20h30. In fact, I'm going to put a little H there. Heure. So that represents the word hours. Il est 20 heures. So let me write down here the question that I was asking you. So we did this more or less at the beginning, after about 5-10 minutes of being in class. Quelle heure est-il? Point d'interrogation. So that's the question mark. So, let me have a look if you can see that un peu plus près, a little bit closer. Ok, très bien. Oui, voilà. So normally when you're using that word et, you don't pronounce the T. Par exemple, remember in that song Disco? D-I-S-C-O. So in the verses you would say things like elle est hyper belle, elle est adorable, elle est whatever the adjective, elle est, she is, it is, il est, he is. Et, normally you don't pronounce the T. However, pourtant, however, it's followed by a word that begins with a vowel, I. So we've got this little hyphen there, and then that means that you need to pronounce that T. Quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Or which hour is it? Okay? And the answer, so the time's changed now, but we'll stick with 8:30. So this is your answer. Il est. We'll do it in the 24-hour clock. 20 heures. 20h30. It is 20 hours and a half. The other way you could say that I wrote on the board, it's 8:30 or 20:30, so let's have a look. We could just say il est 20h30. Il est 20h30. Okay, très bien. So 8 hours 30. Yeah, très bien. So let's do some other times. Well, if you're saying 1 o'clock, it's always going to be il est, well not always, but if it's 1 o'clock you want to say instead of the 24-hour clock, this is what you say. Il est 1 heure. It is 1 hour. Une, because heure is feminine. So you had a question from Caroline which was really, really good. When you get to 9 o'clock in the 24-hour clock, remember 9 would be 21 in the 24-hour clock. So she was wondering whether you say il est 21 heures, which is 21 hours, or whether you say 21 heures, like with 1 o'clock, because heure is feminine, 1 hour, 1 feminine hour. So Caroline, I think you might be right there. That's something I have to check actually. So normally if you're counting 21, 31, 41, you would say 21, 31, 41, right? So that's the way that you say 31, 41, 51, etc. Et un and 1. However, I think you might be right, and I do need to clarify. 21 heures makes more sense actually, because 20 and 1 hours, that's how many hours. So I've got a query over that and I'll check and I'll get back to you in class next week. Il est 21 heures. So apart from when you say it's 1 o'clock using the 12-hour clock, there's this sort of cheat way that you can avoid using the 24 hours. So you could do this, for example. Il est 1 heure de l'après-midi. De l'après-midi. So you might recognise that word from somewhere. If I zoom in anymore, I think I'm going to cut my head off again. Couper la tête. Il est 1 heure de l'après-midi. Qu'est-ce que c'est l'après-midi? What is après-midi? En anglais, afternoon. So, instead of having to figure out what 1 p.m. is in the 24-hour clock, which would be 13 heures, you can just stick with 1 hour in the afternoon, right? You can specify de l'après-midi, in the afternoon. So, what if I wanted to say in the evening? You would say du soir, of the evening, le soir. Instead of de plus le and then soir, you get du. This is sort of higher level, but it's worth mentioning. De plus le equals du soir. What's the other example? Ah oui. Il est 1 heure du matin. Du matin. So I think we had these words last week when we were talking about time and parts of the day, anything to do with bits, well, anything to do with time. Yesterday, tomorrow, the day after, now, in 3 weeks, in 2 months, in 10 years, etc. So we have soir, matin, après-midi, and we also have de la nuit. De la nuit. Vous voyez bien? Okay, let's get a little bit closer there, even if we do cut off my head. Okay, that's the most important bit here. Ici. Soir, le soir, the evening. Matin, le matin, the morning. in the evening, or of the evening, of the morning, of the night, de la nuit. Donc, par exemple, il est quelle heure? Oh, excuse-moi. Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Quelle heure est-il? Alors, quelle heure est-il? Il est 2 heures. It is 2 o'clock. Il est 2 heures du matin. 2 o'clock in the morning. Il est 2 heures de l'après-midi. In the afternoon. Après-midi, afternoon. Midi, that's another one of these words that we, hello, it's another one of these words we saw last week on the sheet. So midi literally means midday, after midday. So, il est 2 heures du matin, de l'après-midi. Let's do another one. Ok. Il est, quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Il est 6 heures. Il est 6 heures du matin. It's 6 in the morning. Il est 6 heures. No, I want to say in the evening. Excuse me. I want to say in the evening. So soir is evening. Du is of the. Du soir. Okay, so il est 6 heures du soir. That's the way you get around doing the 24-hour clock. See me again. So, what's the other one that we've got? So, of the night. So, let's say it's 10 o'clock at night. Comment dit-on 10 en français? Comment dit-on? How do we say 10 in French? We've just had 6. So, this one rhymes with that word. 10, okay? Il est 10 heures. 10 plus heure. Remember, H in French, H, la lettre H. So when a word starts with H, you generally don't pronounce it in French, and it kind of functions as a vowel. So when we have a word finishing with an S or a T, or not always a T, an S or an X, in front of a word that starts with a vowel or an H, then we pronounce that X. So this is how you say it. Écoutez. Il est 10 heures. 10 heures. Il est 10 heures. So that's your little liaison, remember? Il est 10 heures de la nuit. Of the night. It's 10 at night. So someone asked, what's the difference between du and de apostrophe and de and la? Well, you might remember that it's to do with the gender of the noun. So let's look at the noun in these phrases. We've got matin, soir, après-midi and nuit. So one of those is feminine. Can you guess which it is? Devinez, guess. Matin, soir, après-midi ou nuit? C'est la nuit, the night. So, if you want to say it's 10 o'clock of the night, la nuit has to stay in there, but you always have a de before something that, when you're saying of the night, of the something feminine, it's always going to be de la nuit, de la. So it's sort of like a possessive, of the night or belonging to the night. 10 o'clock belonging to the night. So when I send you your homework, every week I send you an email saying something along the lines of voici les documents de la classe. Okay, these are the documents of the class. De la classe. From the class. Of the class. La classe. So class, the word for class, is feminine. So when I'm saying the class's documents, or the documents from the class, of the class, I will always say de la nuit. So these three, therefore, they're masculine. du matin, du soir. Du just means de plus le, of the. You won't see de and le like that in French. You will see du. So where you see du, just need to remember that all it is de plus le. So that's a little kind of contraction that happens in French. What about that one here? De l'après-midi. Nearly lost the camera then. So what happens here is you've got the word après-midi, which has an L apostrophe in front of it because it starts with a vowel. The afternoon, l'après-midi. So when you've got a de plus an L apostrophe, you can't make it a du, right? You can't do what happens here. You can't make it du après-midi. Parce que c'est difficile à prononcer, c'est difficile à dire, it's difficult to say, it's difficult to pronounce. So what we do instead, oh excuse-moi, wrong one. So that's du soir. So what we do instead is we leave the L apostrophe and we just put de l'après-midi. Donc, I think that's probably long enough on that explanation, because on your sheet, page 1, je crois, let me have a look. Voici la page 1. Okay, well, ici. So here in bold somewhere, you've got basically at night, de la nuit, in the afternoon, de l'après-midi, du matin, in the morning, du soir. So you've got all this written on your sheet anyway. So, quelle heure est-il? What time is it? What hour is it? Il est. That's the way you reply. Il est. What if we want to say it's 12 o'clock? There's a few ways we can say that. So, il est 12 heures. Because you know your numbers up to sort of 20 at least. I'm going to just write it in numbers. Il est 12 heures. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock at night. Il est 12 heures de la nuit. What if I wanted to say it's midday or it's noon? Il est midi. So you could just replace that with midi. What if it's midnight? 12 at night. You could either say 12 heures de... Oh, I've already got de la nuit. No, you wouldn't say that, then you'd say il est nuit, nuit, midnight, midday. Quelle heure est-il? Oh, il est minuit. Oh, c'est tard. It's late. Okay, guys, so I'll leave times behind for now, although you will see them in some of the sheets that I give you in the next week. And also I have a homework for you which does involve telling and writing out the times in full. So let's have a see. Think. Ah oui. Avec le stylo rouge. Let me zoom out a bit because we're a bit too close. Un peu trop près. Too close. Trop, too much. So, then, at the beginning of the lesson, we looked at these words, so you might recognise them. Let me show you them. Comment ça se prononce? Comment ça se prononce? How do you pronounce that? CH? What does CH together sound like? Remember my name? Charlotte. Ooh. Chou. Okay, just remember that. I'll tell you what it means in a sec. Chou. Ça, c'est le contraire de chaud. This is the opposite of chaud. Froid. F-R-O-I-D. Froid. Remember that oua sound? You don't pronounce the D. Froid. Okay, so there's two words for you. Encore two more. That's a hard one to say. Soif. These aren't necessarily related, but these two are, oui, et The other two, oui. Alors, fin, fin, fin. Okay, let me put them on the board. Comme ça. Now, there's a reason I'm showing you these four words together. They're quite useful, they're très utiles. Donc, par exemple, maintenant, j'ai froid. J'ai froid. J'ai froid. Vous avez froid? Moi, j'ai froid. So what am I saying? I'm saying I'm cold. J'ai froid. I have cold. So, froid, which means cold, instead of saying je suis froid, no. So in English you say I am cold. In French you say j'ai froid. I have cold. That sounds a little bit strange, but it's worth remembering. It's just the way that they say it. I have cold. L'autre. J'ai chaud. J'ai chaud. I'm hot. I'm hot. J'ai chaud. I have hot, if you like. Vous avez chaud ou vous avez froid? Aujourd'hui, il y a de la neige. De la neige. So today there's snow outside, so you're probably a little bit cold. Vous avez probablement un peu froid. Un peu froid. You probably are a bit cold. So, hot, cold. Regardez ça. J'ai faim. Can you see what I'm doing there? Ooh, j'ai faim, j'ai faim. Ooh. Not I've got a bad tummy. J'ai faim. Je veux quelque chose à manger. I want something to hungry parce que j'ai faim. Regardez, j'ai faim. Because I am hungry. J'ai faim. I have hunger. Okay? So, if that was hungry, j'ai soif. Oh, excuse-moi. J'ai soif. I want something to drink. I'm thirsty. So let me show you how that looks in a sentence. Ici, comme ça. À droite et à gauche. Quelle couleur? Le vert. Vous voyez bien? J'ai. Oh, apostrophe. J'ai chaud. Ouh, j'ai. Hang on, let me do this. J'ai chaud. Ouh, I'm hot. J'ai froid. Ooh, I'm cold. Oh, j'ai faim. I'm hungry. J'ai faim. Oh. J'ai soif. I'm thirsty. Donc, vous avez soif? Oui? Non? Vous avez chaud? Oui? Non? Vous avez faim? Oui? Non? Vous avez froid? Oui, vous avez froid? Oui, un peu. D'accord. Don't worry, it's normal. C'est hiver. It's the winter. En fait, moi j'ai un problème avec le nez rouge. I've got a red nose around here. I've had it for like 3 or 4 weeks at least because it's so cold. Et j'ai les mains sèches. I've got dry hands. Oui, c'est un problème en hiver. It's a problem in the winter. Donc voilà. So these are 4 words that you will have to remember you use with the verb avoir. J'ai faim. J'ai soif. You don't say je suis soif. Non. You don't say je suis chaud or je suis froid. Non. You say j'ai. I have. So remember that verb avoir. Alors. Next, what do we do then? We sort of did a kind of game. So this game was, so I gave you these pieces of paper. les petits papiers, les morceaux de papier with little words like that. You see that? Les cheveux blancs ou autre chose. Une table par exemple, une table, vous voyez bien? Non? Oh, c'est pas important, it's not a problem. So I gave out these, I gave out basically some stuff that was on a list. We had nouns, things like un café au lait, la lune, 3 sandwichs, un peu de fromage, 12 étoiles, une banane, un mari, un verre de vin rouge, just things basically. There might have been some numbers in there, and there would be some nouns, some that you know, some that you could figure out. And what we did, we played this game, so you have to choose whether you preferred the sentence dans mon sac il y a, in my bag there is, blah, 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 blah. Or you have to choose pour Noël je veux, for Christmas I want. Pour Noël je veux, or dans mon sac il y a. You chose dans mon sac il y a. So what we did, everyone started off by saying what was on their piece of paper. So, dans une phrase entière, qu'est-ce que c'est dans votre sac? What is there in your bag? Dans mon sac, il y a, in my bag, there is un portable. Un portable. A mobile phone. In my bag, there is a mobile phone. Each person did it. Chaque personne dit la phrase. Et puis, and then, après, afterwards, nous avons, tout le monde a dit quelque chose. So everyone said something, but you had to repeat each thing, chaque phrase de chaque personne, each phrase from each person. So it got really difficult à la fin. C'est difficile à la fin, because you have to remember what everyone has said. But it's quite good, it's a bit of fun. So today I thought I'd do my own little version. Let me zoom out again. Donc, oh, let's try and avoid that light reflecting there, shall we? Donc, regardez. J'ai un sac, et je vais vous dire qu'est-ce que c'est dans mon sac. Dans mon sac, il y a. In my bag, there is. So, you might know some of this vocab. It's got a weird mix of things. Donc, première chose, dans mon sac, il y a. There is. Un sac en plastique. Un sac en plastique. A plastic bag. So, let's write that on here so you can see how it's written. Dans mon sac, il y a un sac en plastique. Un sac, a bag, en plastique, made of plastic, or a plastic bag. Un sac en plastique. Vous voyez? Oui, ok, c'est bien. Première chose, first thing. Puis, then, il y a un DVD, a DVD. Un film, ok? Un film français qui s'appelle Amélie, or the long title, le titre entier, Le fabuleux destin d'Amélie Poulain. Okay, so there is a longer title, but we just call it Amélie. Great film, first French film I ever saw. Alors, dans mon sac, il y a un sac en plastique, un DVD, so just like in English we use the letters in the acronym DVD. Dans mon sac, il y a un sac en plastique, un DVD et... Oh, sorry about the noise, the microphone's right next to the bag. C'est juste à côté du sac. J'ai une écharpe. Une écharpe bleue, bleu foncé, dark blue scarf, avec, regardez, c'est quel animal? c'est le renard. Mon animal préféré, my favorite animal. Donc, j'ai un sac en plastique, un DVD, une écharpe. Une écharpe, that's a scarf. Oh, stylo noir. Une écharpe. So, accent aigu, that means it's an A sound. Une écharpe. A scarf, and it's a feminine word. Une. Très bien, ok, prochain, next thing. J'ai un livre. Oui, c'est un livre. Un petit livre, ok, a little book. Un livre. Et comment il s'appelle? Comment il s'appelle le livre? What's it called, this book? En anglais, French for beginners. Comment ça s'appelle en français? Translate the title for me. You should know this because it's the name of your course. Le français pour débutants. Ou le français pour les débutants. French for beginners. Très bien, ok. Donc, dans mon sac, il y a un sac en plastique, un DVD, une écharpe et un livre. Un livre. A book. Let's see what the next thing is. Ah, dans mon sac, il y a une balle. A ball. Une balle. Une balle. Ok, très bien, une balle. Et prochain. A few weeks ago, we were looking at fruits. Donc, dans mon sac, il y a... Comment ça s'appelle en français? What's that called in French? Regardez. C'est un citron. Un citron. Et lemon. Un citron. 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 Non, ce n'est pas citron. Okay, it's not citron like the car. That would be Citroën. Citroën. This is citron. Oh, citron. Prochaine. Ok, prochaine chose. Nous avons, we have, une brosse à cheveux. Une brosse à cheveux. Une brosse. So, une brosse is a general word for a brush. Une brosse à cheveux. A hairbrush. Une brosse à cheveux. Brosse à cheveux. So, sometimes you'll see a plus a noun after another noun, which specifies what the thing is for. So, brosse à cheveux, brosse à dents, a toothbrush, etc. Un sac à dos, a bag for your back, à dos, etc. Prochaine chose, next thing. Dans mon sac, il y a un verre, a glass. C'est utile ça, c'est utile, it's useful that word because you will use it all the time when you're ordering something at a restaurant or a bar. Donc, un verre, un verre. V-E-R-R-E. Ok, vous voyez bien, can you see that okay? Un verre. V-E-R-R-E. It's also the material, the word for the material. Glass. Verre, le verre. It's made of glass. Très bien, ok. Prochaine chose. Next thing. J'ai un calendrier. Regardez. Ce n'est pas en anglais. Ce n'est pas en français. C'est en allemand. Ok. En fait, ça c'est en... Oh non, non, non. Regardez. Ok, I thought it was in English for a sec. C'est en allemand. It's in German. C'est un cadeau d'un client. It's a gift d'un client, from a client, from a customer. Donc, merci, translation, très bien, j'adore. I use it every day. Alors, donc, dans mon sac, il y a un sac en plastique, un DVD, une écharpe, scarf, un livre, une balle, un citron, une brosse à cheveux, un verre et un calendrier. Un calendrier. Calendrier. Ok. Vous voyez, calendrier, oui, ça va. Puis, then, il y a un paquet de stylos. Un paquet de stylos. Il y a 1, 2, 3, 4 stylos. Un paquet de. A packet of stylo pens. Un paquet de. Paquet. Comment ça s'écrit? I think it's P-A-Q-U-E-T. Un paquet de stylos. A packet of pens. Oui, voilà. That reminds me, the other thing I was going to say. Un verre is useful because you can say, par exemple, un verre de vin, a glass of wine. Par exemple, je voudrais, I would like, or je veux, un verre de vin, s'il vous plaît. Un verre de vin, s'il vous plaît, a glass of wine. Un verre de vin rouge, s'il vous plaît, a glass of red wine. Un verre de vin blanc, a glass of white wine. Okay, remember your colours? Noir, vert, rouge, bleu, etc. Oh, very useful. Glass of something. Un verre d'eau, a glass of water. Un verre de thé. No, glass of tea doesn't make much sense. Un verre de limonade, glass of lemonade, etc. Okay, un verre de is useful. A glass of something. Donc, prochaine chose, next thing. La dernière chose, the last thing. Dans mon sac, il y a... Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Dans mon sac, il y a les lunettes. Les lunettes. Glasses. Les lunettes. So, they're actually feminine plural word. I'm going to write it here. Les lunettes. Glasses. Dans mon sac, il y a... Sac en plastique, qu'est-ce que c'est? Plastic bag, oui. Ok, plastic bag. Un sac en plastique. Un DVD, oui, très bien, DVD. Une écharpe. Qu'est-ce que c'est une écharpe? Regardez, alors, ça, c'est une écharpe. Ok? A scarf. Une écharpe. Un livre, qu'est-ce que c'est? Regardez ça. Voici le livre. This is the book. Un livre. Une balle. Oh, we've had that a few classes. Anyway. Un citron, c'est un fruit. It's a fruit. Un fruit jaune. A yellow fruit. Un citron. Un brosse à cheveux. Excuse-moi. Une brosse à cheveux. A brush, a hairbrush. Un ou une. Un ou une. C'est une brosse à cheveux. J'adore. I love brushing my hair. Alors, c'est bien. Qu'est-ce que c'est les prochaines choses? Un verre. Qu'est-ce que c'est un verre? Par exemple, un verre de vin ou un verre de bière. A glass. Un calendrier. Very good. Ah oui, et un paquet de stylos. Packet of pens. Pack of pens. Et enfin, lastly, les lunettes, which are plural because we're talking about the glasses. Très bien, ok, très bien. So, after that game, what did we do? Well, we looked through the page that I gave you for as a handout, didn't we? So, en deux, in pairs, you went through these French sentences using the time. Regardez ici. That was really good. And then when you had to firstly translate and understand them, and then you had to give the time. You had to tell me how you say the time in its full spoken or written form. C'était très bien. After that, we very briefly. I didn't really go over this in class too much because I just wanted an introduction. We looked at some verbs. So we had a quick refresh of some of the ER verbs that you looked at. So, for example, passer, to pass, or to pass something to someone. Acheter, to buy. Manger, to eat. Parler, to speak. Etc. Jouer, to play. So those were ER verbs. These on page 2, these are IR verbs and RE verbs. So these verbs, very common. They're the other two common types. Les trois sortes principaux. So the main sorts or principal ER, RE, IR. So it's all a bit confusing. Basically, they have different endings. So an example of an RE verb would be the verb vendre. Very common. Vendre. You would see this in France when you see houses for sale. They'll say à vendre, for sale. So vendre means to sell. So there's endings that go with the verbs that have re at the end. I won't go through them all now because the main point of introducing these verbs is that you recognise them when you see them written or when you hear them. In the next course that I'll be offering, French for Beginners Part 2, we'll be using these kind of verbs. So there's some examples of common RE verbs, and then underneath we have some IR verbs. So here's probably one of the most common, and certainly one I use in my classes. Finir. Finir. It means to finish. To finish. So we have RE verbs, IR verbs, and then we have, can you see, verbs that end in ER, like for example, not manger, let's think of another one. Un verbe avec ER à la fin. Ok. Passer. I like that one. Passer, because it looks like English. It's a cognate, you know, it looks very similar to pass. E-R-I-R-R-E. They all have different endings, which you would put with the pronoun je, tu, il, elle, he, she, or it. He or she, or it. Nous, vous, il, elle. We, you, plural, or polite, or they. Okay? So, when you do a verb table, in fact I've given you some. Regardez ici pour, par exemple, ici. Okay, vous voyez? So there are verb tables for IR verbs. And the endings, you basically keep the stem of the verb like fin, 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 for all of them. So if you want to say I finish, we go to the verb table for finir, and then you add on the ending for the verb. So, je finis mon travail, I finish my work. Let's look at the vous form. Finissez, so that's the ending of the vous. Finissez, it's very small, so I don't expect you'll see it very well. Allez. Finissez. What about the nous form? Finissons. We finish, or we are finishing. Nous finissons le cours de français. Le cours de français. We are finishing, or we finish the French course. C'est triste, but you can come back after Easter if you like and continue with the next 10 weeks. So that's a verb table using common verbs. So read through that page, please. Regardez page 2 et aussi page 3. Let me just check. I think that was 1, 2, 3. Oui. Page 3 on page 3. We look at some irregular but very common verbs. So these ones don't follow the same patterns as IR verbs or ER verbs or RE. So these ones are just basically rogue verbs. So let's have a little look at some of them. We have the verb savoir, to know. So if you want to say, yeah, I know, or I don't know, you would need to know this verb savoir. Regardez ici. So there's savoir conjugated in the present tense. Et ici, les pronoms, the pronouns here on the left, et là, the verb, conjugated verb. So, if I want to say I know, je sais. You just find the verb in the dictionary or on word reference, or you might know it already or in a verb book, and then you conjugate it by going to the verb that's next to it. Vous savez, you know, do you know? Oui, je sais. Yes, I know. Non, je ne sais pas. No, I don't know. We've got the verb boire, which is really useful. It means to drink. So, in the vous form, for example, ici. Ici. Can you see that there? Boire. Ici. In the vous form, it's vous buvez. Vous buvez. So, if I'm asking someone, do they drink coffee? Vous buvez du café? Or you can say vous buvez l'alcool? Vous buvez souvent? Do you drink often? Okay, weird questions, but that's how you form them. Another verb, écrire, écrire, to write. So, if I'm telling you to write something, écrivez, écrivez. I go to the vous form of the verb to write, and it's écrivez. So the vous form you can give when you're using an order, telling someone to do something, or when you're asking a question. Vous écrivez? Oh, vous écrivez une lettre? So, you're writing a letter. Oui, j'écris une lettre. Yes, I'm writing a letter. I am writing. So, it might be worth me giving an example. David, I think you had a question. So, well, you mentioned something about when you use a verb, and in English you say, I am writing. Like, what are you doing now? I am writing a letter. So in English you would say, I am writing a letter. I'm sure you can see that. I am writing a letter. Okay? So it's natural for you to think, how do I say I am in French? And you might think, oh, it's je suis. Okay? You might translate that bit as je suis. Mais non, ce n'est pas correct. It's not correct. What you need to think of is the verb in the sentence, not the verb I am, but the main verb writing. Okay? Because we have this thing in English called the continuous, the present continuous. When you say I am something, I am reading, I am writing, I am going. So that I am something ing, we get confused with the verb, the separate verb to be, like I am tall, I am English. This I am writing, I am reading, is all part of the same verb to read, or to write, or to listen. I am listening, I listen. In French they don't have the present continuous. You translate that sentence, in fact there's two ways, il y a deux phrases, il y a deux façons de dire en anglais. There's two ways of saying it in English. I write a letter. I write a letter. I am writing a letter. So we've got two different ways of, two different meanings there. For example, you could use, at the moment I am writing a letter, something I'm doing now. But you would use I write a letter if it's something you do regularly. For example, chaque semaine, oh sorry that's my phone, chaque semaine, every week, I write a letter. J'écris une lettre. Chaque semaine, j'écris une lettre. Every week, I write a letter. Okay? Or you could say, maintenant, j'écris une lettre. Now, I'm writing a letter. So, j'écris, here. Alors, ici. C'est où? Ici. Okay. J'écris, voilà. That there can mean two things in English. it can mean both of these sentences. I am writing or I write. So let me give you another example. Let's take an example from the same page. Page 3. So this is page 3 de la semaine 9. So page 3 from week 9's handout. So ici à gauche, here on the left. Look at that verb there. It says boire, to drink. Look at the first line. Je bois. Okay, je bois ici. Je bois. I'm going to write that down on the board. Je bois. Je bois un café. Je bois un café. If you saw that sentence written down, there's two ways you can translate that in English. Okay, there's the verb boire. There's the pronoun je bois. And how would we translate that in English? So the way we translate it in English depends on the context. So if you said, maintenant, je bois un café. Maintenant, I'm drinking a coffee now. Now, I'm drinking a coffee. You would say, I am drinking. Okay? I am drinking. However, you could also say, I drink a coffee every day. Je bois un café every day en français. Chaque jour. Each or every day. Je bois un café chaque jour. So if we've got something like chaque jour, we would translate in English as I drink a coffee every day. So every day, chaque jour. But if we don't have the everyday bit, it's just I am drinking a coffee. I know it's confusing, but that I am drinking, we call that the present continuous, something I am doing now, ongoingly, over a period of time. Right now, I'm drinking a coffee. But in general, I drink a coffee every day. En français, you say it in just one way, je bois. Okay, you don't need to say je suis bois. No, I drink or I'm drinking. Je bois. You just need that verb. So it's easier in a way because you don't have to think. It's harder in English to learn how to use the present tense or the present continuous, whereas in a lot of languages you just have one way of translating that, and it depends on context. So don't worry too much, we'll do more about that in the second course. So we have the verb savoir, which means to know, the verb boire, which means to drink, manger et boire, eat and drink, écrire, which means to write, and then we have the useful one, comprendre. Par exemple, this is a question, une question. Vous comprenez? Non, je ne comprends pas. Non. So that's a question. Do you understand? Using the vous form, so you go to the verb table, and you go to vous. Ici, okay, vous comprenez? Vous comprenez? Or you could invert the verb and the pronoun. Comprenez-vous? Do you understand? You could answer that in the positive. Oui, je comprends. Yes, I understand. Or you say it in the negative, like I just did. Non, je ne comprends pas. So you could put a ne and a pas around that verb. Je comprends. Make it negative to say I do not understand. I understand not. Savoir, boire, écrire, comprendre. This one's really useful. So, dire, that's the verb to say or to tell. In fact, I've given you a piece of homework which is to listen to a song and to fill in the gaps. It's a very sweet song. C'est très douce. Une chanson douce, sweet song. Et moi je chante, I'm singing it, so, or I sing it, because you can use either in English. Je chante la chanson. Et regardez ici, Première ligne, la première ligne de la chanson. These are the words in the first line. Dites-moi. Dites-moi. That means tell me. Tell me. Dites-moi. Dites-moi pourquoi la vie est belle. Tell me why. Dites-moi. Dites-moi pourquoi la vie est belle. Tell me why life is beautiful. Right, so it's a lovely song. Go through. Remplissez les vides, fill in the gaps. Choisissez les mots ici. Choose from the words here. Mais attention, parce qu'il y a quelque chose qui manque. Because there's something that's missing here. So attention, be careful. So, that song, je suis désolée pour le bruit. I'm sorry about the noise. Parce que le micro, c'est juste ici. The microphone's just there. So, that verb dire is used in that song, and it's used in the vous form. So go to the vous form, dire. Alors ici, à gauche. Ok, regardez là, là, là. Vous voyez? Ok, look at the vous form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the fifth one down. Vous dites. Dites-moi. It's in the vous form. It means you tell me. Dites-moi, you tell me. So listen out for that. Also part of your homework was on page 3 to read through this. Look at these new irregular verbs. Remember, they don't follow the patterns of the verbs on page 2. The IR and the ER ones. These are just, they're rogue verbs, remember. They follow their own pattern. You might see patterns between them, like in the vous form, most verbs end in EZ in the present tense, so you can recognise that it's the vous form. In the nous form, pretty much all verbs end in ONS, so in fact all of them I think. So that's the present tense. So if you see ONS at the end of a verb, or you hear on, like écrivant, écrivant, you might recognise écrire. Ooh, that sounds like écrivez. Ah, it means write. So if it's in the new form, it means we write. Or if someone's saying it with like enthusiasm, it might mean, hey, let's write. Let's go. Allons-y. Or allons-nous. Let's go. Écoutons la chanson. Let's listen to the song. Regardons la télé. Let's watch the TV, etc. So you've got some sentences here to try and figure out based on the content of these verbs. Alors, il est presque 60 minutes. This video is almost 60 minutes long, so I'll get going in a sec. So, with these verbs, one of the exercises we did was I gave you each sheet, une feuille comme ça. Regardez avec les conjugations, with conjugations of verbs that we've seen, either that you recognise and know, or new verbs that I've introduced this week or the week before. So I'm going to look over at my flip chart, if I can move my webcam. We don't need that page, it's a different page. Voilà. C'est la liste. Un peu plus près comme ça. Let's move it forward like this. So here's a list of some of the verbs. Now, these are the verbs in their full infinitive forms. Mais ici, sur cette page, ils sont conjugués. Là, c'est la forme je. Par exemple, je parle, I speak. Je vais, I'm going. J'écris, I write or I'm writing. Je veux, that's a useful one, I want. Je ne veux pas, I don't want. Je suis, we know that one, don't we? I am. Je comprends, I understand, oui. Je finis, par exemple, je finis mon travail. Je finis presque mon travail, I've almost finished my work. So they're in the je form. They're all mixed up. Ici, vous avez, you have, les formes vous, the vous forms of different verbs. Some of them are regular, some of them are irregular. That doesn't really matter, peu importe. What matters is that you can look at these verbs and recognise a kind of similarity between the three columns. The je form, the vous form, And then over here we have the il, elle, they form. Par exemple, ils aiment, they like. Ils veulent, they want. Ils vont, they go or they are going. Excusez-moi. Ils parlent français, they speak French. You can also use the they form with elles, E-L-L-E-S, they, female. Elles veulent, they want. Elles finissent, they finish, or they're finishing. Elles comprennent, they understand. Okay, so that was just to see if you can recognise verb stems or similarities between the look of conjugated verbs, because some of them don't have a regular stem, they change a little bit, like et and avoir, for example. So here we have a list of the verbs that I've mentioned. Some are irregular, some are regular. So here's an irregular one, être, that means to be. See if you can recognise what they mean, okay? That's the main thing of me having this list, just if you recognise what they mean. If not, it's not important at the moment, but they're useful verbs. You'll have to know them sort of as you learn French more and more. So, être is to be. Par exemple, je suis, I am. Avoir is to have. Écrire is to write, excuse me, need to clear my throat. Faire is to do or to make. Vouloir. Par exemple, je veux. Je veux un café. Je veux, I want. Voulez-vous un café? Do you want coffee? Vous voulez un café? Voulez. Right, so let me show you that on this list. Voulez. Ici, voulez. That's you want. Je veux. You see that? Je veux. They both come from this verb vouloir, which means to want. Ah, okay, so here's the one that's linked to the song, dire. What does it mean? To say or to tell. C'est très bien. Par exemple, in the vous column, vous dites, you say, par exemple, dites la vérité, tell the truth. So that's the you form. Here's the je form. Je dis la vérité. I'm telling the truth. Je dis la vérité. And let's find the they form. Ah, okay, so ici, here we are. Ils ou elles disent. They say. They men or they women say. Ah, c'est bien. Let's have a look at the remaining verbs. Nous avons ici, okay, ici. Finir is an IR verb, so that's a regular verb. You've got that on page 2 of your handout. Finir, to finish. Comprendre, par exemple. Vous comprenez? Do you understand? Oui, je comprends. Non, je comprends pas. Je ne comprends pas. I don't understand. Parler, we get that one, don't we? To speak. Je parle français. Je parle anglais. Vous parlez anglais? Vous parlez français? Savoir. So that's recent. I mean, I gave you that on last week's handout. So that's the verb to know. Oui, je sais. Yes, I know. Non, je ne sais pas. I don't know. Savez-vous? Oui, non. Do you know? Yes, no. Pouvoir, so that's a useful one as well. So pouvoir, let's find it on this list. Pouvoir means to be able to, or we translate it as can. For example, I can. Je peux compter à 50 en français. I can count to 50 in French. Je peux. Where is it on this list? Je peux. Can't find it on here actually. Je veux. Ah oui, okay, c'est ici. Je peux. I can. And then over here we've got the vous form. Vous pouvez. Pouvez-vous? Can you? Are you able to? Pouvez-vous m'aider s'il vous plaît? pouvez-vous m'aider? Can you help me, please? Oui, je peux. Yes, I can. Why have we got puis written over here? Okay, so the reason we've got that is because if you're asking a question with this, you can say peux je, can I, but it's also common to say puis je, can I. So there's two forms of that verb, I can or can I. So don't worry too much about that. But that's a useful word. Pouvoir means to be able to. Et dernier, last one here. Let's have a look, guys. Ici, vous voyez, you see that? Allez, allez. Par exemple, allez la France. Allez, go. Means go. So let's have a look at the conjugation. I go or I am going. So, I think you had this conjugation written on your handout from la semaine 8, from week 8. Ici, je vais. Maintenant, je vais. I'm going now. So, this one's very irregular because it starts off with a V, je vais. By the time you get to the vous form, it starts off with an A. Look, vous allez. That's why it's irregular, because the stem of the verb aller doesn't remain in all of the conjugations. A-L-L-E-Z would be the vous form here, but in the je form it starts with a V. And if you think of the sentence when you ask someone how they're going, how they're doing, comment ça va? Comment ça va? That is the he, she or it form of the verb aller. Okay, so it's really irregular. It starts off with a V in the je form, je vais, tu vas, il, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils, they, go, ils vont. Really irregular. Anyway, you'll get used to it. As long as you're sort of familiar with what some of these mean, and when you look at a verb table, you understand which pronoun goes with which conjugation, and how you can use it to make a statement, make it negative with a ne and a pas around the verb, or ask a question by using intonation, or by inverting the pronoun on the verb itself. So, what else do I want to say to you? Let's have a look. So, we looked at the time, quelle heure est-il, using the 12 and the 24-hour clock. I didn't go into too much detail with that here, but that's because you have it all written on your handout, and we'll probably do a few questions on that next week. There's also some questions in a questionnaire I'm going to send you for additional homework ce soir. Okay, so we looked at using the verb avoir with some phrases that in English we use to be with. Okay, for example, j'ai faim. J'ai faim. Maintenant j'ai faim, it's true. J'ai faim, I'm hungry. I have hunger. Ça aussi c'est vrai, this is also true. J'ai froid. Ooh, j'ai froid. I'm cold. I have cold. Okay, so the opposite of cold is hot. Oh, we've lost the C there a little bit. J'ai. Voilà, comme ça. J'ai chaud. I don't know if you noticed, I put hot on a pink whiteboard, and I put cold on a blue whiteboard. Okay, j'ai chaud, I'm hot. J'ai froid, I'm cold. So we saw j'ai faim, which is to be hungry. This is the other one. J'ai soif. J'ai soif. I'm parched. I need a drink. J'ai soif. And what did we do? We looked at some irregular verbs, and also I had a question just before I go. I want to go over some sentences. So Robin had a good question. He asked, if you want to make a sentence using it, So he said that I know how to say he, which is il, and he knows how to say her, which is elle. What if you want to just say it? And I think he gave a really good example. The lion eats the horse, par exemple. Hopefully I've written that on here somewhere. Okay, so I'll give you that example. I'll just tell you. The lion. Le lion mange le cheval. Le lion mange le cheval. The lion eats the horse. What if you want to say it eats the horse? You don't want to have to repeat the lion. It eats the horse. So if you know how to say the lion, le lion, then you know that the word lion, lion, is masculine. Le lion. So if that word lion is masculine, when we want to say it eats the horse, referring to the lion, le lion, we say il mange le cheval. Il. Why il? Il means he, but il is what we use for masculine nouns. It's le lion. It's a masculine word. This is what's hard, because in English we have this word it, which we can use for anything. We don't have genders for our nouns generally, so it's difficult to get into your head that you need to say il, and it kind of loosely translates as it. So I've written out some sentences here where we can practice this. Excusez-moi, if you can hear my stomach rumbling, it's because j'ai un peu faim, I'm a little bit hungry, so you can see that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change these sentences. Here I've got il and elle, which equals or equates to he, she, or it, if you like. Ok, let's go un peu plus près, a bit closer. Ici comme ça, vous voyez? Ok, ça va, oui. So we've got this sentence here. Le chat mange la souris. Okay, so we've got le chat, the cat, mange la souris. The cat eats, or the cat is eating, the mouse. Le chat. So if we want to say it is eating the mouse, we would change le chat to il. It eats the mouse. So you would use il here once you've already determined that you're talking about the cat. So you're saying the cat was in the garden, it was chasing a mouse, it eats the mouse, or it's eating the mouse. Instead of having to repeat le chat, the cat eats the mouse, the cat's running around after the mouse, the cat's jumping on the fence. If you want to just make it easier to say, you would say it in English, you would say il, because it's referring to le chat, and that is a masculine noun, il. Okay, because we're talking about the masculine word. So we're referring to the word le chat, or the phrase le chat, as il. And roughly translated into English, it kind of means it. So here we've got the sentence. La maison est grande. La maison est grande. The house is big or large. So now we just want to say it is large. Okay, the way we do this, we need to look at the gender of that noun, maison. La maison. It's a feminine noun. Feminine noun. So instead of saying again the house is large, we want to say it. Refer to la maison without repeating la maison. So we don't say il, because this is a masculine, feminine word. Instead we say elle. Elle est grande. I know it looks like it says she is tall or large or big, but because we're referring to la maison, which is feminine, we are kind of saying that. She, the house, which is feminine, is large or big. Elle est grande. So in English, if we saw that sentence, we'd translate it as it is big. Okay? And somewhere before we see or say that, we would have mentioned la maison, so that we can mention it again in a slightly shorter form, elle. Okay guys, let's get down to this one. I hope this is kind of clear. I know it's a bit confusing. Le stylo. Okay, I was inspired here by my pen. Le stylo est vert. The pen is green. Oui. So we're talking about the pen. Le stylo. Okay, remember, stylo is a masculine item or object. So it's a masculine noun. We're talking about the pen. Now we're just going to say it is green. Il est vert. Le stylo. Il est vert. It is green. I hope you're getting the idea of this now. Okay, here's another one. Look, le français. This as well is also a masculine noun. Look, French language. Le français est facile. It's a little winking face there. C'est facile. Non, oui, c'est facile. It's easy. French is easy. Le français est. Remember we saw that word est. Un peu plus près, a little closer there. French is. Ah oui. French is easy. But we don't want to say French is easy again. We're just going to say it is easy. So what do we put there? Do we put elle est facile? No. Why not? Because it's le, it's a masculine noun, so we say il. Il est facile. There's another thing we could do if we just wanted to avoid, you know, identifying the gender of the noun we're talking about. We could simply, we kind of cheat a little bit, I suppose. We could just say, c'est facile. The difference there is that c'est means it or that is easy. C'est facile. C'est facile. It is easy. So the difference with il est facile and c'est facile is that you can use that generally if you haven't discussed anything, you haven't identified what you're talking about. Well, you'll get to practice this, you'll get to know. But once you've already mentioned French and then you're referring back to it, you could either say il est facile, because it's masculine, or you could just say c'est facile without having to identify the number, because you've got c'est, which means it or that is. Don't worry too much about that. If in doubt, use c'est facile or c'est as an adjective. Okay, we've got a last one here. So this is a feminine word. So in this instance, I was inspired by my roses. Très joli, non? Très joli. Nous avons les fleurs roses, violets et blancs, et les feuilles vertes. Okay, pink, purple, and white flowers with green leaves. So regardez ici cette phrase. Look at this phrase, sentence. La fleur a 12 pétales. La fleur a 12 pétales. Pétales. The flower something 12 petals. What's that there? La fleur a 12 pétales. The flower has 12 petals. Now what we're going to say is it has 12 petals. La fleur. Parce que c'est la fleur. Because it's the flower. La. C'est féminin. Okay, it's feminine, so we would say elle a. She has 12 petals. She meaning the flower. In English we would translate that as it. Now, I did have another page, une autre page plein d'exemples. I've got another page full of examples. But I think I'm going to leave that till our class next week, just because the videos are quite long. La vidéo est longue. Elle est longue. She is long. The video, I mean. La vidéo. La vidéo. So that's that. Let me put that out of the way. And I'll just show you one more thing. Et puis, je vais au dodo. Okay? Dodo. Ah, dodo. And then I'm going to bed. Dodo. From the verb dormir. Okay, so there's another IR. Sorry, another IR verb. Let me put it here. Dormir. Remember I told you in class? Do. Aller dodo. That means go to bed. Go to sleep. Dodo. Really cute. So the last thing I wanted to show you was a questionnaire. So this is something I'm going to send dans 30 minutes, okay, in about half an hour once I've finished and reviewed this video and attached all the handouts to your email. So this is something, if you have time, si vous avez du temps, if you have time, avant la classe, mercredi soir, cet mercredi, if you have, ce mercredi, excusez-moi, la semaine prochaine, ce mercredi, if you have time before next Wednesday, regardez ces 4 pages, il y a 4 pages au total, there's 4 pages in total, and they've got questions which I'd like you to answer. So some of them ask you to like fill in a gap, some of them ask you like what's your name, what's the date today, how are you feeling, are you okay, do you feel okay, blah blah blah. And then some of them have like pictures for you to refer to, some of them are anagrams, like colour words for example, and then, well, you'll see, I'll send it to you. If you have time, please go through and complete it. If you don't have time, don't worry, but if you can, give it a go, even just a few of the questions, and then we'll go through them together, or I can come around in class next time and look over your shoulder and just have a chat with you about anything, any questions you have. Donc voilà, merci beaucoup, thanks for watching, merci pour regarder. I can't wait to see you guys next Wednesday evening pour la classe 10, la 10e classe. And if you want to come back and study with me again, let me know, because the more people I have, the easier it is for me to organise a class. Otherwise, bonne fin de la semaine, bonne soirée, and be safe in the snow, la neige, ok? Attention, à bientôt, ciao.